here we go. Take two. Take three, actually. So this is Chris again. This is my take three again. I'm trying to work through a function that is really starting to gain a bit of popularity in Facebook. It's their screen sharing function. It definitely isn't as functional or as easy as Zoom or WebEx or GoToMeeting because you can't bounce back and forth between screen share uh, and looking right at you. But nonetheless, I'm going to work through it. Previously, I was trying to do it simply through using the Chrome browser tabs, but that doesn't function well because then you're stuck on only what you have in your tabs. So this time I've done a complete screen share. So the first thing I want to do is go to the Carbon County website. CarbonCounty.com is where I'm headed. Carbon County. Mine should already pop up. Should be pretty quick. CarbonCounty.com, there we are at the portal. Front and center, you can't miss it. You right click on it, or at least for the way my mouse is set up, I right click on it. That's going to take me to the COVID-19 portal. My goal is to do this under 15 minutes. 7:30 is Molly's bedtime, so I'm on the clock, although I am prepared here to train standard, not the time if need be. So here are the portal options. There are four of them. Don't forget the transparency page where you can see all the applicants, what they're requesting and the amount. You'll see where they stand in the process, and importantly, and I'll just click on that because I like that. All right, there it is, the spreadsheet. So you can just go to there, and that's the actual transparency spreadsheet. You do have to zoom in on it to see it, obviously. But that is our transparency spreadsheet. You can see the business name, business address, type, grant category, amount of grant request, the date it was received, and then you can see the entire process here, the application process. You'll actually see once it comes to commissioner vote, you'll see a yes, no, refuse, then the amount awarded, the date we actually make that distribution, then the remarks. But again, we're not here for this. We're actually here to fill out a form. So let's jump back to my tab. There I am, back on my tab, and at the same time, I have already clicked on the application. Now, let me go back and make sure you've seen that, right? So remember, there were four different options. Let me make my screen a little bit bigger here. All right, right there it is. Boom, click on it, right click for me. First thing it says, general instructions. Read before downloading application. So I'm going to go ahead, open in a new tab. That's just the way I like to do it. You could do it in a new window. That's a technique. And why this is a good technique. Let me do that, right? Open it in a new window. I can show you why here. What some people do, again, not necessarily me, but some people do, I'm kind of familiar with the instructions. I do use it. You could actually keep the instructions, the detailed instructions up while you work through the application. All right. So here are the general instructions that I was referring to, right? And this does help you move through the entire process. Just remember, I think, number one, you can't fill in the form from your browser window. You actually have to download it. So I'm going to show you how to download the form. I've read through these instructions about 5 times. I'm pretty familiar with them. But here we go. Applications. We click on applications. The general instructions, we read through those and we have them available for reference, right? There they are. You can print them out. There's two how-to videos. So here are the applications, and it warns you, download form and then open with Adobe Acrobat. I left click, save link as, it's the same as download document, save link as, it's going to show me, right? Save as small business application. I'm putting it on my desktop and it shows me what the format is, and I save that, right? Well, boom, now there it is, right? Now if you come over right here, small business application right here. So that's my application. Now again, I double click on it and there I am. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit smaller so we can get more on the screen here. I got it at about 100%. All right, I'm going to shrink that window down a little bit. Right, because I like having my instructions up when I go through it. Those are the general instructions on the left, and on the right, there's my form. The way I know that I'm in the Adobe browser, right, I have downloaded that form and then I uploaded it in Adobe, is because I see this purple bar that says highlight existing fields for the submit form on top. Now you know you're in Adobe and you're not in the browser. All right, you can read through these specific instructions for a small business grant. And I'm going to go ahead and finally you'll see all these shaded areas. These are all the blocks you have to fill in. I prefer to have those shaded. If you didn't want them shaded for some reason, just click up here. But nonetheless, so let's go. We're going to be testing Adobe LLC, all right? That's what I'm going to call myself. What am I? I'm a business of less than 100. You see there is a drop down, right? I went over to this arrow. My street address, 1122 Shamster Avenue, Jim Thorpe. I'm just tabbing through these quickly. 9, phone number, 570 415 6789, email, Adobe, my website. My typing has something to be desired. We do have a Facebook page here. No. Where is it? No, it is right. There it is. We do have an EIN. Type of business. Software. Right. Now I have to ask myself, did I receive PPE or EIDL? I did not. As an individual, I did not. So I don't have to check this. Now, if I did check yes, then I would have to choose PPP, EIDL. Or if there was another one, you would choose that and then type it in. But I didn't receive PPP or EIDL. All right. So now right here, the amount of the COVID-19 relief county block grant requested. I'm asking for $1,000. Once you hit tab, that's going to put a dollar sign. Did your expense occur between 1 March and 31 December? Yes, it did. Justification for the grant? Let's say, we'll say 10. So here it is. I was just typing in. Oh. Okay. All right. Here it was. 10 of my service calls were canceled due to COVID-19. These service calls were at senior centers that closed for 4 months. Right, and that's, so there's how much my service costs. Now if I need to keep on going down, I can continue down here. Notice up here too, you have help, block grant administration group. All right, the point of contact is Luke. Chris, roll owner, phone number. I'm going to give my other number here. 9, that's my other number. And I use the same email address. You see it automatically shrinks it. Alternate point of contact. Sometimes Maggie helps me. She is the co-owner. She's on the books as the co-owner. Silent partner, really. And she actually used the same number, unfortunately, but it is what it is. There it is, right? Now I filled in all the primary data. I do have this certification statement right here that I'm going to have to check. But what I want to do first is, because I've been reading through here, I'm going to go ahead and attach my documents first. So I go over to this paperclip, right? I can look there, right? That's one way to do it. But I prefer, look at this. You go right down here. You hit attachments. Let's go, come on. Right there it is, right? My desktop, and notice I have desktop block COVID block grant information. Unfortunately, I have to do one of these times. So I'm going to do my justification for expenses I'm going to upload. And one of the downsides is you do have to do it one at a time, right? So I attach that one. I also, my invoices. And again, I'm just attaching different types of forms. My payroll, again, and I had the cancellation notices. I think I placed in that one. So I have 4 different forms here, but notice there's no way to see if I actually have those attachments. Well, if I go up here to this paper clip, you're going to see, boom, 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 there are the 4 attachments that are connected to this form. I can kind of shrink that. I'm going to close that window there. I don't need to see that. But now I'm going to certify, right? I'm going to certify. I'm going to put the date in here, and there is a drop-down hour for the date. Boom, right? Signature, all you have to do is type it in. That is legally sufficient. Boom. There it is. Now, how do I submit this? You have 2 ways of submitting the form. You can click on Submit via email, or if you go back up to the header, Submit the form. Easy peasy, either one. Let's go ahead, click Submit Form. You'll see it's going to COVID Grant Board at carboncounty.net. Subject is submitting completed form. There's just one of the attachments, but again, understand there's 4 different attachments. We check those, right? And they were over here when I clicked on that little arrow. My email address, right, is actually Adobe testing at gmail.com. Full name. I'm going to put this is test only. Right? And then I'm going to hit send. Now it's going to want to use my default browser, which I'm going through Gmail. I allow it to do that. You'll see it finishes down here. You can see it working. Blue Ridge Cable. Let's see if I can shift that. Oh, there it goes. It's gone. Right? Now I can always go into my Gmail and check to make sure it's gone. That is the way. But normally what will happen in a couple minutes, the email address from which it was submitted, there, my Adobe testing at gmail.com, an email will come back saying, received. Thank you for submitting your application. Now, if it's an unfamiliar address to the county server, it will put it in a folder, kind of a spam folder. And until the IT guys get in the morning, it won't be cleared through our system. So there may be up to over the weekend, there could be a 2-day delay in getting your response back. So I would say, don't procrastinate. I know my form went out. It's on its way. And again, I showed you where my attachments were and all this, these four attachments in this form went. So again, worked through it. I had more problems like using the screen sharing than I did filling this form. I got it done in less than 15 minutes. That's because I had all my forms ready to go, all my attachments. I read my instructions, first and foremost, the general instructions. And again, I helped write these, so I'm very familiar with them, but I do keep looking across as I work down the form. This does help guide me. And again, as we pointed out earlier, at the top of the form, for each type of grant, you have specific instructions. So there it is, Chris. Again, I'm just playing around tonight, showing you how quickly one can do this. This also serves to test as a system. Every once in a while, someone during the weekend will give me a call, email saying, hey, Chris, I don't know what's going on. It's not doing it. It's not working. I always come back to my system, jump into Google and Safari, those two different browsers, and give it a go, see if it's still up and working, and I'll jump around between different applications. I'm going to be honest, we have not found a technical glitch at all. What we tend to see is, quite frankly, individuals who are unfamiliar maybe with Adobe, more than likely they download it into their browser. And I gotta show you that. This is what wrong looks like. So let me show you what downloading it in your browser looks like. So I'm working through real quick here, all right? Here it is. There's the applications. This is the no-no. Even though it says download form and open with Adobe, you can open it in your browser. Right there it is, right? Right? That's wrong. W-O-R-O-N-G. What wrong looks like. This is what the form, let me do this. I'm going to do a comparison here. I'm going to, right? I should probably, all right. If you're not seeing, when you're doing the application, if you're not seeing this purple band, W-R-O-N-G, you're wrong, right? Again, this is downloaded in a browser, right? And you can still fill it out, but guess what? You can't submit it. You'll be here all day. Yeah, it may do something, but it is not going to get to us. It's not going to get to us with the data we need for our transparency, tracking, auditing. All these attachments that were on this form, right? Or are these, let's see, hold on, I'm trying to see if I can get on there. Trying to click that arrow and I keep missing it. Right, there we go. All right, all this data, right, that goes into our database. All the information you type in, that goes into one, we pull it right into a database, and then that helps us track and audit. It helps us prepare the transparency spreadsheet. So again, if you open it in a web browser, you're not going to be able to attach documents. You're not going to get to us what you need to get to us. It's going to be kicked back, all right? This is what right looks like. You're opening it in Adobe, and you have this purple up top. It says submit form or highlight fields, right? Right there it is. So again, this Chris Sugasesh is playing around with showing you guys one more time how even a commissioner in less than 15 minutes, if he has his act together, can go ahead and fill out one of these forms and submit it electronically. All right, so have a great night. I'm going to go ahead and check on out here and stop sharing.